This book hasn't made me a dime, and I don't mind. This book says exactly what I've been showing people on the radio when I do appearances and request of the guy that the buffoon doing the morning show, and they're pleasant buffoons. But I say to them, ask your listeners, make sure your listeners, if you put them on the air with me, to be immediately helpful to them quickly on the radio, to not be misleading or otherwise unhelpful. Have them tell me what they know about the time of day they're born. Because once, the man who taught me astrology kept saying to me early on in our studies, don't tell me that, William, tell me the rising sign, tell me the rising sign, tell me the rising sign. Because it told him where all the other planets were and where the constellations were, if he knew what sign was on the eastern horizon at the moment of a subject's first breath. Yes?
When an individual does not know their exact time, years before the
Yeah.
time. So you go with the approximate.
No, you don't go with anything. Yeah. See, well, I'll tell you again, I don't mean to just talk about myself, but I was born at home in Dearborn, Michigan in 1944, and the doctor carelessly wrote down my birth time when he got back to his whatever. I don't know what the hell he was doing, but he wrote down the birth time a half hour late, and I had to determine that when I began to study astrology. It's a process of retracing major events in your life and discerning what degrees were on the horizon, and that's what I did. If I had been born when he said, I would have been a mysterious, suspicious, handy, full of gusto, never any time to waste, Scorpio personality. Scorpio personality people are usually very investigative, and the first thing I say to their mothers when they're little toddlers or what, I say, not real big on strangers, are they? They go, no, he doesn't like strangers. Because Scorpio's suspicious, and a little child will show that suspicious nature very honestly, you know. But if I'm correct, and I back it up 30 minutes, 28 Libra was on the horizon, and that's obviously my decision, my personality, because I can't make a decision. I mean, I'll do wait and see until hell freezes over.
Yeah. What if your sun sign and your ascending sign are two opposing elements? Sagittarius is the sun sign, but my ascending sign is Pisces.
See, now you asked it. This is why I'm so committed to this discipline, because you said something that is the result of total misleading information. What did you say to me? Say it as you did before.
When you have your sun sign and your ascending sign are two opposing elements. My sun sign.
They're not two opposing elements. There are no opposing elements. Your ascending sign is water sign, and your sun sign is fire sign. Is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
Not opposition. See, here's the way astrology works. The time of year you're born is your sun sign, your ego expression. We Americans have been exposed to pretty much a complete bastardization of astrology by telling us that we're all one of 12 signs, and that is called sun sign astrology. And the impetus to sun sign astrology was some greedy, superficial, half-baked astrologer in New York in the 20s or 30s who wanted to popularize the discipline so he could create an income for himself. So he told everybody they're one of 12 signs. The Indians, the Chinese, and everybody else on the planet will laugh and scoff at you with such nonsense. So the point being, the time of year we're born is our ego expression, our sun sign. The time of month you're born is your feeling, feminine, emotional moon sign. The time of day you're born is your personality, physical type, obvious traits, rising sign. The planets, Mercury tells us how you think and communicate. Venus tells us what colors you like and people you enjoy. Venus is love and money and sociability. Mars is your red-hot, horny passion, your energy, your handiness, your get-up-and-go, red meat Mars. And then there's sweet Jupiter, the optimist. There's Saturn, the grim reaper, give the devil his due. Then there are the New Age planets. These planets were only detected in the last few hundred years. In the 1500s, the 16th century, they found Uranus, the electric light bulb. Mr. Computerized, the ruler of the dawn of the age of Aquarius. On one hand, Uranus makes us overly opinionated, stiff-spined, and uptight and terrorized. Uranus is the reason explosions are to the fore in our minds in air travel, flight. Because Uranus rules explosions and Aquarius rules air travel, and that's why these people are hitting us from the airplanes quicker than other avenues at this juncture. That everyone understands that? Yes. Your personality physical type, again, is your rising sign. And so I have Libra rising. Libra is kidneys. Aries is the head. Pisces is the feet. Halfway through the zodiac is your waistline, Libra. Where things are in your physical person, kidneys and such, at the waistline is Libra. So I have to drink lots and lots and lots of water because my kidneys are very much a part of my life force. Other part of life force is throat for me, because Taurus, the throat. If you're Aries and you're getting bad headaches, get it taken care of. Find out where it's coming from. If you're Aries and you have headaches and head problems, Aries is your life force. It's very important, your sun sign. If you're Taurus and you have throat or problems here, then you want to be mindful of it. If you're Gemini and you have problems in lungs, you want to be mindful of it. If you're Cancer, the sign of stomach and breasts, then you want to be aware of that part of your body to make sure you're sturdy. Capricorn is knees. First thing I ask people with Capricorn rising is, see, now you're Leo rising. Leo is the heart, so you pay attention to the heart issues that are powerful. And then, of course, Capricorn knees. Strangest thing. When I'm looking for Capricorn rising with a caller on the radio, and I think I've got Capricorn rising, the first thing I say to them is, do your knees get stiff? Yeah, why is that? See, you don't have that problem. I can tell by looking at you that you're more peaceful. See, Capricorn's downside, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, the active signs. This is what these horoscopes that I do are available at williamlamb.com for $10 a day, $2.95 a month. You buy a month of them, you don't like them, don't get them again, but I'll tell you they'll hook you because they're not the kind of horoscopes you read in the newspaper. They give you a feel for the day, and they fit your energies into the day's energies. The full moon is a full moon for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a jitterbug Gemini or a mysterious Scorpio, you got a full moon day. And consequently, my horoscopes tell you about that full moon energy. And the one thing you can say about a full moon, people are more reactionary. They're more emotionally reactionary. If you're with people you really like, you like them better. If you're with people you don't like, you like them, dislike them more. Because they bother you. The moon is that characteristic. Well, my horoscopes always have the moon sign for the day because it sets the mood. Today, I'm jumping all over the place because the moon's in Aries, which means I'm trying to please everybody and pleased to do so. It's not a complicated discipline. Well, people think so because it's such a different language. We've never been... And astrology has suffered from terrible disrespect in our society. 31 years later, from the day I began this work, and no one in mainstream astrology, no one in mainstream America thinks astrology is worth a crop. I was kicked out of Knoxville, Tennessee yesterday morning on a show I've been doing. Why? The Bible thumpers ran me out of town. That's what happened. That's what happened. This is why I wrote this book. Every book you ever read on astrology will tell you that Libra and Scorpio are a bad fit. And it couldn't be further from the truth for you two. But you know that, don't you? Sure. How helpful is that? That just so upsets me. Because the reason you're so compatible is because when you were born, never mind the planets, never mind where the sun and the moon and the planets were, you were born with Scorpio on the eastern horizon in both instances, and when we have the same personality type, Scorpio rising, or the opposite personality type, totally due to the time of day you're born, you're compatible. I say to people, I love libraries. I love libraries and I love schools. Why? Because Jitterbug Gemini is the flexible, inquisitive, curious, find out about it, formal education, intellectual, read and write and arithmetic sign. And Virgo is the sign of helpfulness. And at libraries, there's always a lot of Gemini and Virgo. So people are helpful at the library, and if you're curious, they'll know where to send you.